We have a notion that warfare doctrines are set by superpowers and others just follow and learn from it. Either that is a flawed theory or there is a new superpower in town. A hard power who appears sober otherwise, and that is India. All these years, the growth of the Indian economy was mainly in discussion as the fastest growing large economy. But now there is an added angle to it. The economy is accompanied by a decisive and lethal military acumen and might, and that has come out of partially concluded Operation Sindoor. And that too directly against a rogue nuclear-armed state, supported by many other nuclear-armed shadow bigger powers. One of the main critical challenges in a military operation like this is not the opponent's strength, but the duration of the conflict, and especially in those conflicts where who are the real backers of the opponent is not clearly known. If you look at the past cases, US for example was badly trapped in the Vietnam War, and its duration had cost US a lot of unpleasant consequences and billions of dollars. Again, the same US was trapped in Afghanistan.
The United States military has begun strikes against Al-Qaeda terrorist training camps and military installations of the Taliban regime in Afghanistan.
They declared war against Al-Qaeda and Taliban, and after 20 years of relentless fighting, they finally handed over Afghanistan back to the same Talibans. When Russia invaded Ukraine, the world thought that the game would be over in just a week, provided Russia is such a superpower.
Before dawn, Ukraine woke to explosions around the capital, Kiev. Enormous blasts, also in the city of Dnipro.
It has been 3 long years and there isn't a sign of cooling down of this slow-paced and fragmented war. India understood there were many shadow forces which were acting as invisible entities, and their goal was primarily to break India's economic growth. It was a trap set by many of the bigger powers. But also, it was not possible to avoid any kind of military action given the necessities.
I say to the whole world, India will identify, track and punish every terrorist and their backers. We will pursue them to the ends of the earth.
So what the Indian military did? It launched an operation with fast, decisive and precise high-impact attack. Number 1. Bhed as Chanakya's doctrine, which is the art of deception, like a phantom operation. Trick the enemy with multi-layered, synchronized network of deception using technology, media broadcast and unexpected timings. If you know you are being trapped, do not back off. You double trap them, triple layer the bluff, let them fear that unknown element which does not exist, so that they miss out calculating the actual reality. Number 2. No vague, dispersed attack. Only high objectivity in operation, having full steady control, so that there is no disproportionate build-up of chaos in the warfare, which otherwise becomes dangerous. Number 3. High impact, shock and awe strategy. To decapitate the opponent in a manner which is beyond all assumptions and completely break the morale. Number 4. Use of non-contact, high-tech equipped, fully integrated, high-speed, high-kinetic warfare. Otherwise, appear to be low on capacity but act just the opposite. The Operation Sindoor will supposedly become a long strategic war whose end is kept open. It is open to all developing possibilities. But India will not fall in the same trap which the Americans, Russians or even the Israelis have fallen. India has carefully observed each of the cases and probably realized how the trap could be set. Definitely it is an open-ended operation, but with strategic, precise and decisive chapters where the nature of action and control of the timeline is in our hand. What you see as a ceasefire is not what the Indian military has said. but it is a strategic pause for a long winter so that the military and the strategic objectives are met with negligible economic and other setbacks. But there's a deeper layer that one goes beyond military doctrine. What India demonstrated is a real-time application of chaos theory in strategic warfare. In chaotic systems like geopolitical conflicts or, for example, the COVID pandemic, tiny changes can trigger disproportionate outcomes. That's called nonlinearity, or you commonly known as the butterfly effect. And it is dangerous if left unchecked. So in this case, how did India respond? By breaking the patterns. What was the pattern? There were provocations everywhere and every time, coming both from inside the country and outside, for a loose knee-jerk emotional reaction. Indian leadership fortunately did not fall for the trap. India introduced controlled bursts of action, each one intense, lethal, but extremely calibrated, with an active control. Yes, control is the main point in this development. The military wasn't just launching strikes, it was actively shaping the environment for the next course of action. And that is not just warfare. That is chaos management as the undercurrent of the present military strategy.